and Sunday nights are for Scorecard on Channel 1 TV. I am Benjamin Nketia. It's the show that helps you to break down everything that your team has been doing over the weekend, from the highlights to the analysis to the patterns to a few trolling here and there. It doesn't really hurt. Somebody whispered in my ear that if you won your game this weekend or your team won this weekend, then your team is not a big team. This weekend, the big teams all lost. So if you won, I don't know what you're up to, but you know what I mean. The text and WhatsApp lines will be on your screens just so you can share your thoughts and opinions with us. My good friends are in the studio. We'll do a quick turnaround. When I come back, I'll introduce them. We'll get some highlights going. And then, of course, today's show will also get running. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Let me introduce my two good friends in the studio. Coach Christopher Nimley is back in the mix, and then Emmanuel Nubo also back in the mix. Coach, last week you were missed.
Charlie, yeah, I had to be at the wedding from Thursday, Saturday, Sunday of my brother.
Yeah.
A cousin I consider to be my backbone. and the beauty of it is that, you see, I was so instrumental in getting in the woman. I more or less.
This man. Actually, you are doing things so.
Yeah. Serious. Yeah, so it's like your brother is marrying, but you more or less introduce the lady to him.
You are building chemistry with elements and building chemistry with human beings as well. This man.
I'm waiting for you, though.
Don't worry. To all come together.
Sure.
No, but what's going on?
I'm good. It's a pleasure to be here.
Charlie, pleasure to be here, but me too. I'm not happy, but it's fine. Anyway, let's talk some sports, and let's start off with the University FISU World Cup. The FISU University World Cup is what you call it. You had UDS in the final against Paulista. Game ended 2-1, so UDS have lifted the trophy as far as the FISU University World Cup games are concerned. Now, big win for them, of course. I'll just take initial thoughts on that. So, Coach Shaibu Ibrahim Tanko leading the lads to that particular victory. Let me just take snap thoughts on that one. Coach, you said you were watching that game.
Yes.
Very interesting goals, but in the end, Ghana went all the way and then took the ultimate.
Look, the two teams had played earlier on in the tournament, and they had drew 1-1. So they knew themselves very well.
Yeah.
And we didn't start the game very well at all. This goal was in the first 2 or 3 minutes we conceded. But truth be told, after the goal, the boys really played their heart out. They dominated.
Yeah.
They dominated. The Brazilians shockingly sat back and they were playing on the counter. But the recovery of the team in winning the ball off the Brazilians anytime was absolutely amazing. And for me, the captain stood out, and the goal that eventually won the tournament, goodness me, if he's asked to repeat that 100 times, I'm not sure he's going to do it. Yeah. He's not putting that ball in the back of the net from the corner kick. And if you look at where the goalkeeper and everybody was, this was the goal that equalized it 1-1. And then after, I think this was about like some few 5-6 minutes to the end of the game. And then it was like the game was more or less destined for a penalty shootout. And this is the goal that won it.
Look at this.
To go. And look, I was asking myself, if all these guys are in the university, Ghana, we've got talent.
Yeah.
Look, we've got proper
We've
talent.
always insisted that when scouting is done, the scouting is always skewed towards certain quarters and certain... It's never ever holistic.
From the basic level, look at the way our under-17, our juvenile teams have been handled. If you are a player and you don't belong to the members of the ESCO, Ketu Kreku and his Dreams FC still believe in God we trust. See, you do these things. And
they have such nice names too. In God we trust and what
still
we still believe.
And all those things. You see, when you go, those boys are not good enough. They've never been good enough. Because at the end of the day, if you were using them and were qualifying for such tournament, then so be it. But you've stuck with them, and we've not been able to qualify for any major tournament at the under-17. Since category, we've not qualified for any under-17 competition. Recently, they had to...
The under-20 World Cup is going on, right? We are not there.
We were booted out. Yeah. And that same coach is being reshuffled. He's been reshuffled. Look, the least said about these guys, the better. At the end of the day, they still do believe they're doing so well, and therefore they've triggered a third term. You're not even ashamed of yourself. Look at where our football is, where we are. You think you deserve that? They should go ahead and do what they want.
They think they do. Let's get to some CAF competition games. Asante Kotoko were in the CAF Confed Cup. They went all the way to Nigeria to beat Kwara United by 1-0. The game between the Daily Gold Stars and their Algerian counterparts has ended, I believe, in a 7-0 aggregate over 2 legs. So Asante Kotoko will play without Athletic Club of Rabat, without Athletic Club of Morocco, and then we have the Daily Gold Stars getting knocked out of the tournament. Let me take your thoughts, Nubo, on that, and I'll come to Coach. So Kotoko 4-3 down here, 1-0. Better than I thought they could do.
Yeah, I think we discussed last week, as you've mentioned, that they had a chance, seeing how poor their opponents are. They've not won any league game this season. Yeah. And I was expecting more goals. I thought we would have a repeat of what happened in Ghana here. But then I think it's a good win for Kotoko. Their form also hasn't been so good. Yeah. We've spoken about how they keep churning out players and churning players in every season, 10 in, 10 out, those kind of things. Some players are signed for 2-3 weeks and then they are sold. So for me, I think it's good for them. Yeah. But then after that, if the way they played in Ghana, the challenge they face now is whack. Yeah. That's a top African team. So
top team.
If they are going to play even anywhere close to how they played in Ghana, I don't think they are going to make it. So for me, for me personally, I don't think they are going to make it. But at least I think they should give a good account of themselves going into this. As for Gold Stars, we discussed it here already. That I mean, you go away, you are 2-0 down, you get a red card. That's going to be a bloodbath. They didn't play well here either. So for me, whether it's inexperience,
just a formality,
whether the quality is not there, I think it's a combination of both. And that's about it. We need to look at our game critically and grow it.
Coach? Yeah, I think, look, we should be worried. We should be worried in the sense that we need to put a stop to this. It's becoming too unbecoming. It's repeating itself every single year. Our teams qualified, win the league, win the FA Cup, go to Africa, and we don't make any meaningful impact. Some times back, we had 4 teams. 2 teams per competition. Because we've been that bad for a substantive period of time, look at where we are at the moment. Ghana's champions, at the very first attempt, booted out of the CAF Champions League.
By a 7-goal aggregate.
By 7-0 aggregate.
Yep.
I mean, where we're even starting off is bad. You have to play 2 rounds before you get into the money zone.
You understand? And if you look at the Kotoko team, look, unless football decides to tell its own story. You and I know football, yes, is very unpredictable. Unless football decides over 2 legs against WAC to tell its own story. Anything apart from that, I don't see how Kotoko will qualify. Look, I watched them. I've seen them in the league. I think they are too open. Maybe Karim Zito, with his vast experience, would do something to rescue the situation. Look at it, to rescue, as if it's already I do believe it's a lost battle. Because look, for Kotoko, in my view, to qualify to the next round, I think the draw should have allowed them go play away first and bring the second leg home. But as it stands,
they're a much higher seeded team than you. So.
Yes, so you play home here in Ghana, and can they beat WAC 3-0? I think they'll need a result like that. Even the 2 goals, 2-0 would not be enough. So for me, like I said, unless football decides to tell its own story, I don't see them qualifying.
Well, let's see if football can tell its own story. But let's get into some European highlights. And let's start off from the G-Tech Community Stadium, where Brentford were up against Man United in a very interesting game. Missed penalties, late goals, and all of that. The game had the full package of drama. Let's get the highlights. Some really sumptuous goals by Brentford there. Absolutely lovely stuff. Coach, let's get to the breakdown.
Look, this is extremely difficult to do, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. If you are a Manchester United fan, I believe that two things are happening here. It's either Amorim himself is coaching to be sacked, or the players want him gone. He coaching to be sacked. Everybody knows my stand on him. I believe in him. I know he's the manager who knows his stuff, and he has a clear idea on how he wants his team to play football. But again, his selection is a bit questionable. I have said that, should I see Bayanda again in the goal for Manchester United, that should be the end of Amorim. No two ways that goalkeeper is just not good enough. He's too substandard, and as a result, he must come nowhere close as Manchester United #1. 2, look, this is the first goal. There are so many debatable issues here. If you roll this again, look, I think that is a foul on Matthias Cunha.
It is.
All day.
This is what you were complaining about initially, that this was in the build-up to the
goal. As to how that was not given as a foul.
You can roll that back again.
Yeah. So let me bring it back a bit. Look at it. He bumps into him.
Yeah.
As to how that was in the foul, only the referee and those at VAR. And then look, Harry Maguire, I don't know, but if you're a Manchester United coach and you still do believe that Maguire should be, look, let me bring this back a bit. If you roll this, watch Maguire. This will not show, but on the replay you see, you are the last man. Let me pause it here. Look at the shape of the team. Come back a bit. Come back a bit. Okay, let's go. Let me pause it here.
I think we'll come back.
Okay, now look at here. What is he doing? This is Maguire in Ketia. Look at Maguire. Just look at Maguire. This is Maguire. Look at Maguire. Look at him. This is Maguire.
You should hit this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at Maguire. Is that how to set an offside trap?
Henderson took about 1 or 2 touches.
Yes.
Which should have given him enough time.
Should have given him enough idea that would have been a route 1 sort of football. You are big in there. All you needed to do was to just draw closer to your marker, and keep him inside. Rather, when Henderson now decided to hit the ball, this is Maguire, the attacker in front of you, then he's rather running to set offside. He's running to set. I cannot believe it. He's rather moving forward. You are here.
Oh,
the striker is here. You can see the ball is being played. Instead of you to step across, just step across and block his path. Deal with the situation. Rather, he was stepping forward and playing the guy on. Do you know why he did that? He's not the sort of player who fancied the race. So he knew that even if he were to allow it to go and he was to run and chase it, there was no way he was going to get the ball. And eventually, United conceded from that. Look at him. You saw, I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
I had acres of space. Ball bounced like twice. But that was a good finish.
That was an excellent finish.
That was a super finish.
That was the first goal. Now look at the second goal. Look at the second goal. Look at the second goal.
This is still the first
This is still the first goal. Let's go back.
Thiago's second goal. Yeah.
The fifth one, isn't
it?
it?
The third one.
Okay. Now look at it. Again, the same route 1 sort of football. And Maguire is the center of the back 3. And look at it. Per the marking, that was his marker. You see, he allowed his marker to drift towards delete without any given delete, any communication. And look at this goalkeeper. Manchester United, my brother, we've seen, look, let me pause this. Look at where the ball is coming from. The ball is coming from an angle like this. Naturally, as a goalkeeper, you should be palming it back from where it came from. If you do this, look at the space.
Into the path.
Look at this whole gap here. Look at the space there.
But Coach, I was even saying that if he was fully aware of what is happening around him, if he leaves that ball,
it goes off.
It goes out.
The ball just would have gone.
Pass,
Pass, and nobody would have had a touch.
But he's staring in one direction.
He's looking at the ball. Not look at even his position. Completely left the goal.
The moment anything happens, it's at the mercy for anybody to tap.
Naturally, you say this is the frame of the goal. You fill the goal and come down a bit and keep your position. But look at him. He's left. He's virtually vacated the zone. Not knowing anything about what his surroundings were. And I think that is unacceptable. And then look at it. The icing on the cake. I call it the icing on the cake.
Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Let me take you to that game between Chelsea Football Club and Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, Brighton are gradually also becoming a boogie side for Chelsea, beating them a couple of times. And this time, it was no different. They were determined to change their story from their last game. They dropped valuable points in the dying minutes of the game. This time, against a Chelsea team that have been struggling, they took matters into their own hands and they took all 3 points. Let's get the highlights. Danny Welbeck, aging like fine wine. 2 goals to help his team Brighton and Hove Albion get all 3 points. Let me start you on this one, Nubo. Are you part of those who are beginning to look at Maresca and this Chelsea team sideways, or you think that they are still a growing team and that these type of spells are acceptable?
I think it's a combination of both. He's done some questionable things. And first, you have to start with the goalkeeper. Okay. Last week, it was the goalkeeper who was sent off. Yeah, I believe it was last week. This time around, it's another centre back.
Back-to-back red cards.
Yes. And yes, they beat PSG, everybody was hailing them. But a lot of people were saying for this team to be proper title contenders, they need a proper goalkeeper and they need proper centre backs. I think Coach has highlighted this on numerous occasions. They do not have a proper pair of centre backs to start with, not to talk of those who are coming from the bench. Today is Chalobah Tosin. Tomorrow is Fofana. He will come and play 2-3 games. He gets injured. And then he goes off. Now, the part where Maresca comes in is there's a lot of chopping and changing. It was Gittins for a while. Then you look at the United game. You get a red card. Then there's a rush of blood. You do changes. And then you're not even able to sustain anything. Then United get a red card. And because you've misplaced your subs, you cannot react to the game. This game, Chelsea were in control in the first half. They were playing very well. They scored. There was no need to panic. Now, you ask me, in that situation, do you really need to foul the player? Because if he scores is 1-1, you still have a chance to play. You are playing well already. You are creating chances. You still have the chance to play on. So in that regard, I'll say as the coach, you have to be able to be hard on your players. You have to let them know that there are certain decisions that are not necessary. If the game is there to be played for, there's no need to go in like that. And then Brighton got the groove on from the red card, and then that was curtains. So that makes it 3 consecutive games Chelsea have not been able to beat Brighton. That is a big problem. And for Maresca, if he has plans of challenging for the top 4, he needs to get his act together. He needs to get a set 11 or 14 that you are picking from. Let them play consistently. Let them know each other. I think the other part of it is that Cole Palmer has been injured. So we all know that the team is built around him. If Cole Palmer plays well, Chelsea plays well. He has enough players. He needs to figure it out early. Else, by the time he realizes he'll be out of the top 4, and then now he'll be under real pressure.
Coach, you're good friends.
Yeah, I think, look, like he rightly said, they were doing very well until the red card. Now, I still do believe that after the red card, I've seen teams 1-0 up, red card, but will manage it in such a way that they will not get exposed. You remember last season at the Etihad, Arsenal v Man City. Arsenal took a 2-1 lead and then they got the red card. But we could see that Arsenal managed the game so well such that it took the last kick of the game for Man City to rescue it.
Coach, even this season, Newcastle. With Liverpool.
Yep.
Until Liverpool won in the 100th minute or so.
There you go. But what I didn't like about Maresca yesterday was that when Chelsea got the red card, he completely, whether he forgot or he ignored, and if it is the fact that he ignored it, then that is serious lack of tactical awareness. The fact that he did not realize that they had something to protect.
Yeah.
Rather, the game became so stretched.
True.
And they were just going at it, going, Brighton, going, Chelsea. I said, I know. But if it is 0-0, and it is even 10v11,
yeah,
you manage it to the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, then you give it a go.
And give it a go. What you don't want to do is to do something that will get you to suffer for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And here's the situation where, yes, a man has been sent off, but you were leading at the time. So all you needed to do was to get Caicedo, get a lad. You see, and this Chelsea team, they've got players who can hold the block, especially at the bridge. The size of that pitch is standard, but it's not the biggest of size.
Stay on that point for me. When you look at the midfielders they have, so Enzo, Lavia, Caicedo, are they the type of midfielders you think can, like I was saying, hold on to a ball, take the steam out of a game, control, not pass, dribble out of trouble, that type of thing?
He had
Caicedo can do
outlets.
that.
He had outlets on the wings. So with Enzo, Latvia, and Caicedo, they are. And normally, if you are a coach and you want to hold your block, you need natural ball winners. Players who win the ball, and for them, when they win the ball, they can pass the ball. Casedo, Latvia in particular, he's big. He can hold on to it. And then at times they will draw the foul.
He can even juggle the ball. He can dribble
and
a little.
when he draws the foul, then everybody calm down. You take in close to 30 seconds, 1 minute. You're just trying to break the tempo or the fluidity of the game. Break it. But shockingly, they kept going and kept inviting Brighton. So once Brighton then equalized, again, should he have stretched the game? I think 1 point is better than what? None. So you should have just calmed them down. Take the steam out of it. Let's see whether we can drag it on, and go and nick it. Either from a set piece or from something else. But for him to have allowed them to play very expansive in the manner in which they did, I completely disagree. And I think that was fundamentally why they lost the game. And by losing 3-1, unnecessary. Look, he's gone 4 games now without a win. And
you should see the games they have coming.
They are playing Liverpool next.
Playing Liverpool next, yes.
They are playing Jose Mourinho in midweek in the Champions League, Benfica. Then they are playing Liverpool next. And then there's Barcelona along the line. And then there's a lot of difficult games coming. And what you don't want to do if you're a Chelsea manager, you don't want to have your team to go into those big games struggling for confidence. And the more difficult it gets, the more they're down they are going to get. But look, the fact that, again, I've said this and I'll repeat it. If you're a Chelsea fan and if you're listening, you can agree or disagree. But per my knowledge on the game, I know fatigue will set in somewhere along the season. They are a young team. It may take a while, but eventually, the fact that they didn't rest properly because of the Club World Championship, they didn't rest properly, and they went from the league straight in there, came back just 2 weeks into this very demanding league season. I expect them, I hope they don't get hit with injury though.
They're already suffering injuries.
They're already suffering the injuries. And it is as a result of too much pressure on your veins, your arteries,
I'm exceptionally scared for their forward line because I think they had a good number of forward players, and then they started loaning and selling their players.
Selling
now,
them all over
I believe
the
they
place.
have only 2 strikers at the team
One
now.
is already out
One is injured.
Dilap is injured.
Dilap is injured, and you are left with Pedro.
Yes.
Where's Magui? They sold him, right? He's moved on.
No, I think they recalled him.
recalled him.
When Nicholas Jackson refused to
come back.
They recalled. But we all know that boy is not up to the level. He's just not up to the level. Even when he was there, the whole of last season, he was relegated.
They were keeping him to the
Conference League
and
they
other
were
games.
not using him in the league. So that should tell you that the coach himself does not believe in him. And for them to have done, look, I still believe whatever they did to Chalobah last season, for which they virtually had to beg him to come back. In the case of Nicholas Jackson, they Bayern Munich had given them money, so he's no coming back. That decision will come back to haunt them.
As for Enzo Maresca, I don't know, but the manner in which he has lost these 2 red card games has me questioning his competence and his experience level as a manager. Because as a manager, these are the things that
is why you are paid
to earn your money. And Jose Mourinho always used to talk about the fact that aside training 11v11, he always used to train his players to have a one-man deficit. So
we do that all the time.
He will play one team where there's 10 players on one side and then 11 on that side,
and especially
just to see how it balances out when they have a red card.
He will do that with the first team. And like you said, against Manchester United, first 3-4 minutes, your goalkeeper gets sent off.
Yeah.
All you needed to do, take an out of player, bring in a goalkeeper, and allow it, because it was 0-0. Allow it to go on for like 10-15 minutes and see how it goes. Immediately, he started panicking. Now, when the game turned, now, like you rightly said, there was
no options, had nothing, no reaction. Anyway, let's get to I would say the biggest game of the round, because these were the 2 undefeated teams heading into game week 6. It was Crystal Palace hosting Liverpool at Selhurst Park. Now, Palace were on a 17-game unbeaten run coming from last season, and they have met Liverpool 3 times, including the game that was played yesterday. Liverpool have not managed to come out victors even once. Oliver Glasner is schooling and is lost. Let's get the highlights of this one. Palace, through Eddie Nketiah, got the 3 points right at the death. So Crystal Palace maintaining their unbeaten status and start to the Premier League season. Liverpool tasting defeat for the first time this campaign. Coach, lots of worrying signs for Liverpool in that particular game. They've gotten by this season, but this game, I think, truly exposed them.
Yeah. I think they were exposed in the game against Burnley. You remember, he took that last minute, senseless penalty from, I think I forgot. Hannibal. Yeah. On doing all the good works that Scott Parker and his men had done. Proud to that. Having said that, Liverpool have been playing, but we've all been saying that defensively, they've been very, very poor.
Yeah.
They've given too many chances away. And we did say that if the day they come across a better team, they will struggle. Look, yesterday, Palace should have been out of sight
in the first half.
In the first half.
Mateta could have gotten a first half hat-trick.
There you go. Now, once they didn't capitalize on that, and the margin was that slim, typical of Liverpool, they knew that it's just 1-0. They can come back and then equalize and go ahead and win it. But what was disappointing to me is the fact that you had trailed for a very long time. In the dying minutes, you equalize. In going back to win the game, when there is an obvious throw in, a team like Liverpool should be determined not to concede from such situations.
And they have. In fact, it's been their Achilles heel this season.
Exactly.
Almost every time there's a dead ball coming from the flanks, they struggle.
And I was asking myself that, look, after the game, I was thinking through this. I said, no, if I'm the head coach of Liverpool and we've trailed for a very long time and we've restored parity 1-1, and there's a direct, and the indications are that boy is going to be what? Thrown directly into the box. Where were my leaders? The Van Dijk.
Coach, at that point, there was only one centre-back on the pitch.
That is it.
Because you are taking off Konate, so it was just Van Dijk.
But that was the only useful, but they had some decent height. Yeah. I mean, there was
Soboslai.
So Gravenberch is quite tall.
There was Gravenberch, there was Gakpo. You see, at that time, everybody has a responsibility. Everybody has a job to do.
True.
And for me, when the ball was thrown the first time, they had a chance to deal with it.
Yeah.
They didn't deal with it properly. It got returned. And then there was the player who jumped with Mike Gay. I think he was too soft. He just a simple push, and then. But look, credit must be given to Nketiah too. The composure on my chest, onto my left foot, whap like that.
It was so good.
You needed to be very calm.
It was so good.
And you needed to slaughter that in with some degree of confidence. And I think he exhibited the confidence required to put the ball in the back of the net. On the face of what we witnessed, Palace deserved to win.
Yeah.
They
were clearly the better team.
They absolutely deserve to win. And if you are an Arne Slot, you should be worried that the consistency is not there. Certain players who were bought for big money
are not pulling their weight.
Mr. Wirtz, is that the name?
007.
Florian Wirtz has been terrible.
He's been terrible.
Yeah,
If we're being honest.
No assists, no goals for a
120
£120 million player. Unacceptable.
To be said, he's even terrible. I think he looks lost.
Yes.
He looks completely lost in like the Liverpool
Without blame the coach a bit, because if you look at the position in which he operates the best from Leverkusen, is the left half space. Now, what Slot is doing is you are either playing him out wide or playing him on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah.
So already he has to adapt. You are playing him in a position where he's not able to play his best football.
They've moved him around multiple positions
if you
already.
watch his heat map in the Crystal Palace game, he was just running all along the 18-yard box, up and down.
Yeah.
I mean,
he moves on right, comes to 10, goes to left, moves on right.
With the talent they've got, the attacking talent they've got, proper roles should be developed.
You know, I think that Slot is playing that politics with Liverpool's left wing. The Liverpool left wing is, for me, the weakest point of attack. If you watch what they were doing last season, Luis Diaz. And it's crazy that you don't know what you have until you've lost it.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz was very wasteful in a lot of his forays forward. But one thing he would give you is a lot of action down the left-hand side. He's bombing into the box. He's creating chances.
More dynamic.
His composer would let him down a few times and he would waste chances. But Liverpool were not even creating chances in this game. In fact, the quality of chances Isak had to work with in this game, very poor. He had to drop back a lot of the time.
At time, he was even shifting to the left-hand side.
I think even the shot he had to pick the ball on the
literally
wing and create the chance himself.
I think Cody Gakpo is getting a lot of favors from the coach. I don't know why, but he's not been good.
He's very predictable. If you watch the Burnley game, he cuts in. He doesn't even use the overlapping fullback.
No, he doesn't.
He cuts in and then it's either a vertical pass or he just shoots and hits the player.
I think Mr. Slot will have to believe in Federico Chiesa. Look, Chiesa is by far a better player if he's on form and he's playing consistently.
I think he's been top 3 Liverpool best players this season.
He has the most goal contributions for the team, and he's been doing that all off the bench.
All of the bench.
I mean, no, but just snap thoughts on the chance creation matter. That's one of the things that stuck out for me the most. Liverpool used to create chances for fun, would waste a couple. Darwin Núñez had the luxury of wasting 3-4 chances in a game. Isak looks like he's laboring to just see one chance with the goalkeeper.
Well, I mean, we highlighted Florian Wirtz. That's a player brought in for big money. He was supposed to be the creative fulcrum of that forward line. Now, another player is Salah. Salah has been ghosting in a lot of games. And funny enough, he plays 90 minutes. And Chiesa rots on the bench in some of these games when he can come on.
You see, Salah playing 90 minutes, he's earned the right to play that 90 minutes. If Liverpool are struggling for goals, he's the last person you want to yank off the pitch. Because he's their number 1 penalty taker, he's their most prolific finisher in the team. So you keep him. But where there are others and they don't know.
I mean, as Ben mentioned, Gakpo is also another one. McAllister.
McAllister has been. McAllister looks like either. I don't know if he's tired.
I think he's tired.
Because I don't know what's going on.
From the World Cup, he came straight to Liverpool.
He got injured.
He played every game. He got injured. I think he's fatigued.
He's had a baby and all that. So.
A lot going on with him.
But then I do think, when we were saying it off camera, I think this Liverpool team doesn't look defensively solid.
At all.
On set plays and in transitions.
Even in open play.
If you look at especially the first game we played Bournemouth, Semenyo ran about 60 yards just through the middle.
Every time they go up against a team who know what they are doing attacking-wise, they always struggle. Every single time. They always thrive against teams who are not very, organized in the attacking sense. But when you meet teams who know what they want to get out of you, Liverpool always seem like they're on the back foot. And the fullbacks have not been good enough as well. Milos Kerkez, for all the hype he enjoyed at Bournemouth and the praise that he's
defensively,
he looks like if he crosses. I don't know what's happened with him and the coach on a few of the incidents, but in the game that I saw, he looked like he was afraid to cross the center circle, almost as if he crosses the circle.
On that side, I'll blame Gakpo. Anytime he makes overlapping line, he doesn't give the ball to him. The other side of it is defensively, we've considered a lot of goals at the back post because of him. Because even the Palace goal that they used to take the lead, the ball came to him. He could have whacked it back into play with his right foot. He turned on his left foot, considered the true leg to the goal.
A lot happening with Liverpool there. I will be reading a few of your messages that have come through in a bit because a lot of them have come through. Let me see if I can get to it real quick before we get some more highlights in. Wow, quite a number of messages coming in. This one here says that Enzo Maresca is toothless tactically, also clueless in game management. He scammed all Chelsea fans after winning the Club World Cup trophy. Tuchel drew at Anfield with 10 men with the 10-man Chelsea team, and also in 2012, Di Matteo drew at the Camp Nou with 10 men. Chelsea were down by 2 goals. It's a matter of maintaining your shape and being resolute in defense. Maresca doesn't have that. He's still a championship coach in my view. Ima Cisse from Ola Estates in Cape Coast. Ima is not happy at all. This one is from Frederick from Amasama. He says, good evening team, welcome coach. Chelsea's coach and Manchester's coach are the next managers to be sacked. Nothing to show. Cheer. This one here is from Abraham Jedu of Broadcasting. Says, kudos to my team, Hearts of Oak, for their victory over 11 Wonders. And I think we should use the UDS team to represent the Black Stars in the next qualifiers. Hey, you people. This one is from Pilolo from Sunyani. It says, unpopular opinion, Bruno wants Amorim sacked. How can you miss 2 important penalties? Conspiracy theories are flying. This one here says that, this is from Richard from Pusiga. It says, I think the current Black Stars team and the technical bench should be dissolved, including the coach, so the UDS football team can step in and represent the national team. I have watched Ibrahim Tanko and the team right from the start of the tournament to the finals, and they played far better football than the current Black Stars. More messages. This one here says, hi guys, I'm proud of the UDS guys. This is like winning a World Cup. So Ghana can do this with Ghanaians, yet our national team can't even qualify for WAFU. Congrats to my darling club Asante Kotoko. Mr. Slot should sit up and stop experimenting. He is really playing with people's emotions. Hope Mr. Stubborn Man doesn't send Yanum to the championship. Able Minister from Cove City. I think I know who you're talking about. Let me get my other break, or let's go into another break here on Scorecard. When we come back, we will get into some other games. There was Arsenal versus Newcastle, cracker for the weekend. Arsenal winning it right to the death. And then there was a Madrid derby. Real Madrid completely taken to the cleaners by Atletico Madrid. Let's get the break. When we come back, we'll get into more highlights. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Let's get to that game between Arsenal and Newcastle United, or Newcastle and Arsenal, because they were at St. James Park for this one. Arsenal had been under the spotlight following their draw with Manchester City for all the wrong reasons. Looks like the players had everything the fans said. Arteta heard what the fans said as well, and they decided to give this game a real good go. In the end, they pushed until the end, and they got their reward. Let's get the highlights. When it comes to corner kicks, Gabriel Magalhaes might as well be a striker these days. He's become so good at scoring with these headers, but big 3 points. Coach, let me start off with you. Huge pressure for Arteta. He answers the call.
Yeah, of course. But truth be told, he was very lucky. He was very lucky because if you look at how long Newcastle led, and for them to have rescued it in the manner in which, at a point in time, I believe they were just playing not to lose. They were trying to get at least
on to 1 point.
1 point. And then once they equalized, they felt that they could. And like we've seen over the years under Mikel Arteta, anytime Arsenal gets a set piece, a corner kick, they are indeed a decent threat. But look, if there's any team out there that I think should be able to deal with the Arsenal set piece, one of them should be Newcastle, because the Newcastle defenders are huge, very big guys. And Arsenal naturally, they have only 2 targets, out of which one is the main target.
And he almost always finds
them. He almost always tend to do that. And if you look at the replay again, if only we could get that roll on the screen.
I think we can have
He was not there. He came off. So naturally, somebody big enough should be blocking his movement.
In fact, what I've noticed is that when Arsenal take corners, right, they literally block off other people to give them a clean run at the ball.
And by now,
somebody should have figured it out by now.
Of course. So, look, Eddie, look at it. You see him come, there he goes, bang, into the back of the net. Eddie Howe and the other coaches in the EPL, you should know this. And you watch this again. Look at Saliba. He makes sure he stops
the goalkeeper
Pope from getting anywhere closer to the ball.
They always have one guy marking
That was
the goalkeeper.
shocking. Again, it's shocking. So to the opponent, it's 10v10. Okay, outfit players. The team that have been awarded the corner kick, one of the player goes there to take the ball. So naturally, it becomes a 9v10. So if you have a player from your opponent blocking, making life uncomfortable for your goalkeeper, somebody should be there with him. To allow the goalkeeper the free space to come. But if you look at the replay, Saliba stood by the goalkeeper. Look at him. He stood by the goalkeeper throughout. Look at Saliba. He's going to block the keeper. Look at.
There's nobody inside.
And such a genius move.
He wasn't at the beginning. They do this thing so intelligent. He was not with him. But just as the ball was there, he left his man. Look at him go. And then look at the player that was marking Saliba. He rather went and he stood in the goalpost. What are you doing there? You should follow him.
Tonally,
if he had followed him there, Nick Pope with his height comes and then he punches that ball all over. And I think the other coaches have to see this. Saliba disguised himself. Margaret is the only decent target header of the ball in the Arsenal set piece. And you have to find a way to deal with that.
Look, to be honest, I sympathize with Newcastle a little because I always feel like corner kicks are some of the most chaotic situations you can get in a football.
They have Damben. They have
Botman.
And
then they got Malik Thiaw.
All those guys.
Those are really tall players.
And they have the original captain.
Bruno Guimaraes.
No.
The one Lascelles was on the pitch at that time.
They were all on the pitch at that time. And I couldn't believe that. There's Lascelles, there's Damben, there's Botman, and all this. And you allow the obvious target. We all knew
to still make it to the ball. I understand what you mean. Just snap thoughts on this one. I mean, also share some thoughts on Newcastle for me. Very interesting season they are having. Not conceding a lot of goals, not scoring a lot of goals either. I'm not sure what you made of their campaign so far.
I think they also have 4 out of 18.
Yes. And
they're not scoring.
They've not had a good start to the season at all.
I've always said that Newcastle are a bit below the top 6. I've maintained that I don't even think they are ready for Champions League football. As we clearly saw in Barcelona, they were running energetic all over the pitch and Pedro was just running rings around them. For me, I think there's one thing. Bruno Guimaraes is not a DM. And they've been playing him as a DM over the past 3 years and they've been getting away with it. But it gets to the time where it's not going to work again. And for me, I think this transfer window or this summer, that whole Alexander Isak thing dragged for too long. It didn't look like they had any plan.
It disrupted their whole preseason.
But then also, if you watch this game, I think more credit should be given to Mikel Arteta for how he responded. So 66 minutes in, Eddie Howe takes off his striker. And then goes 5 back. And then Arteta responds by bringing on Merino. And then he brings on Martinelli.
Very high up the pitch.
Because once you are going to sit at the back, they are going to capitalize on what they do best. Throw-ins and corner kicks and set pieces.
In fact, I saw people blasting Arteta when he brought on Merino because somebody was saying, Arsenal need a goal. Why are you bringing on Merino?
No, but it was a tactical switch.
At the time, end, he knew what he was doing.
Yes,
at the time,
it was the opening desire to sit back.
Newcastle had decided to sit back. And Arsenal, per the way Newcastle had proper defensive line cover, one of the options was to float the ball into the box. Float the ball into the... And Moreno, without a doubt, is one of the very good headers of the ball.
Yes,
and we saw that.
He scored a lot of headed goals, actually.
So I think we should give credit to Mikel Arteta. Then when they score, he brings in Odegaard, knowing that the back will be choked. He can pick a pass, even on a very good day, and that's what happened. So I think credit to Mikel Merino. But Newcastle, they really need to look at their squad. They've brought in some players, but how to fit them in, I think they are yet to find the proper balance.
And also, I don't like the Eddie Howe style. It's too
physical.
High-octane, physical. No.
Newcastle gets away with murder when they play at St. James Park. Some of the tackles and some of the sequences I saw today were criminal. I saw some Jamal Lascelles situation where he had hooked the Arsenal player, had covered the player's hand with his mouth. It wasn't even called for a foul. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
It comes from the manager. That's why, like you rightly said, when we saw them, against Barcelona. Barcelona will not engage.
It was all energy and physicality.
Just come on, Dion, Pedri,
They just turning around them,
they were just teasing them all over the place.
Oh man, Newcastle. Hopefully they can get their act together. Let's move on to Spain, where the biggest game was the Madrid derby. Atletico Madrid were at home hosting City rivals Real Madrid. Real Madrid have managed to get results this season, but it's not been pretty. Against their City rivals, they were hugely exposed in a game that looked initially like it was going to be competitive, and then Julian Alvarez just took over and this happened. Let's get the highlights. It was really the Julian Alvarez show, and it's been 75 years since Atletico last beat Real Madrid by 5 goals. That's how historic his performance was. Let me start with you on this one, Nubo. Looked like a close game. Real Madrid were just blown open, and to be honest, they were by far the better team, Atletico, on the day.
Yeah, I think Xabi Alonso got outcoached by Diego Simeone, clearly. And I think I had some questions why Jude Bellingham even started this game.
So he had just come back from a shoulder injury. Yeah.
And it's a derby. You know how physical Atletico are going to be. So anybody who was not ready for that physical battle shouldn't have started that game. But credit should be given to Diego Simeone. He saw the weaknesses. You can see that he properly prepared for this Real Madrid side with all their indeficiencies. How bad they are at crosses, how open they are in transition, how they can lose concentration sometimes. So if you look at all the goals, it was punishment for mistakes or lackluster defending. Yeah. So I think it's more credit to Diego Simeone, but Alonso really he needs to figure something out. What's also not helping him is the number of injuries they have, especially in defense.
Injured now as well.
So your first choice and your second choice right back gone. Militao is also injured now. Alaba doesn't look like he'll be coming back anytime soon. Valverde looks gassed. Then already the front, how to find balance between Rodrigo, Vinicius, he has a lot of things to do with. And the earlier he figures it out, I think the better for him.
Coach?
Look, they have serious issues. So. to be very sincere.
Yep.
It is Real Madrid, so there are some games where the clouds of the team, even when they don't play well, will get them to sail through. But when they meet their peers, like we saw yesterday against Barcelona, that game is coming very soon. You have to improve the quality of defending. It's like whoever is there, whether it is Rudiger, it is Militao, it is Olsen. Surprisingly, the boy who did so well, the one who came from the academy last year, Asensio. And Alonso, he doesn't seem to be given that conviction, that belief. Rather, it's Cavalla and then Olsen and then Militao. They have been playing. And I was asking myself,
now he will be forced to play him.
This boy came from nowhere, did so well. He reminded everybody of Sergio Ramos, not of the, but at least at his age, if you saw
the level of tenacity in
defending. 1v1 situation, we saw him battling the likes of Erling Haaland and co in the Champions League, doing so well. I thought he would have stuck with them, but rather he's relegated the ball. And look, the lack of leadership in that Real Madrid defense is going to be their own undoing. Mbappe, Vinicius, it's going forward. They don't have any problem. Mbappe will score, Vinicius will score, Arda Güler, name
Rodrigo of the bench.
But you cannot put yourself in a situation where to win football games, you should be scoring 3-4 goals every week in, week out. You may do that against the lesser opposition. But when you meet your peers, like I said, like they themselves are denying you of the ball. So you need to be very, very compact defensively to enable you give yourself any chance of trying to win football games. But look, yesterday, Atletico deserved to win. And like Numoveris said, I think Diego Simeone, you could see the joy in his face. You could see.
He nearly went down his knees in tears when that free kick went in.
Goodness me! Is it the passion with which he does his job? You sit afar, you want to admire him. We were doing the game, and then you see that there were moments where he decided to micromanage. Everybody, arrangement, on his toe, do this, come here, that. Look, when the coach is that into his team, everybody's at the same level. Nobody, you sleep you out. Quick, you sleep you out. And for me, it's a learning curve for Xabi Alonso. I think in his coaching career, so far, this is the biggest game he's coached. So if you coach Bayern Munich, then Liverpool, it comes nowhere closer to the Madrid derby.
He's played for Real Madrid, so he understands.
He understands. And the biggest one will be coming very soon.
Very soon.
What you don't want to do, if this doesn't send any lessons to him, 5-2 against Atletico.
Your City rivals.
Barcelona may give them even 6 or 7 if he doesn't take care.
Real Madrid's issues are a lot. Anyway, let's get to Barcelona. They needed a comeback victory to win their game against Real Sociedad. 2-1, 3 points sends them to the top of the La Liga table. Let's get the highlights. So Takefusa Kubo tried to give Real Sociedad the equalizer, but it didn't happen for him. Nubo, quick thoughts on that one?
Barca again come back to win the game, but I do think even with that Kubo chance, you are winning the game 2-1. You do not give away such easy chances. If you score is 2-2,
you throw away 2 points.
You throw away 2 points when you are comfortably leading. So I think yes, they would have to check one thing. Defensively, they will have to be a bit more assured. Stop going down early. Offensively, we do know that they don't have any problem. Once Yamal is fit, Lewandowski, you give him the ball, you give him service. And Rashford is also turning up there. I'm sure coach is happy to see him.
Coach wants Rashford to do well so they can move on permanently.
That's why they can sell him and make money.
He can't come back to United. I think his Man United career is finished. He's moved on. So he should rather do well so that they come and pay the 35, 40 million.
This man.
And then he goes.
Let's finish off with a game that has some Ghanaian interest. Juventus Football Club were at home to Atalanta. Ghana's Kamaldeen Sulemana, he has been under a lot of pressure following his performance in the qualifiers in recent weeks. He's scored in back-to-back weekends for his new club, Atalanta. So let's get the highlights. It was a pretty good game for the Ghanaian. Ivan Juric looks like a satisfied man. Coach, thoughts on Kamaldeen?
Good goal. Excellent goal. Perfect goal. See, this is what we want to see. We want to see our players do these things in the big games. If you are scoring against Juve, it can only elevate you to a certain level. Confident-wise, you are up there. When you descend and come to the Black Stars, then you go and prove it for us. But like I've said, I want to see more end product to his game. His biggest problem, in my view, is his end product. He does all the exciting things. But the good, excellent, well-established players are judged based on your final ball. He's a winger, so he should be concerned more of putting in more assists, double figures. As at when the chance presents themselves, you can put it away.
Nubo, final thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm happy for him. We even spoke about it last week. I've said that. And coach has also said the same thing. His decision-making in the final third, when to shoot, when to pass, when to pass, those kind of things. If he improves that, we already know that he has the talent and the sky will be the limit. But good goal, can he replicate when it comes to Ghana? That's the problem.
I want to see him even do it consistently for his club side. Now he's done back-to-back games. This is the type of consistency we need, because I can tell that he took the confidence from that assist and goal and brought it into this event.
He needs to, as a winger, he needs to improve upon his assist level. You go past
be
the
more
fullback,
direct,
you raise your head,
relentless.
you put in the ball. That will invite your attackers to go and finish. But that's one thing that he's really, really not good at.
His head is normally down, doesn't raise, he's not aware of the runs around him and all those kind of things.
Let me read a few messages to end the show here. This one says that, good evening guys, good show. I perfectly agree with what the previous Chelsea texter said. Maresca appears clueless whenever his team is reduced to 10 men. I witnessed Milan beat Napoli with 10 men. So I think Maresca is not up to it. Charles for Medina. This one here is from Locomotion from Kintampo. It says, Bayender and Onana are from one mother. The only difference is that Onana is black and Bayender is Caucasian. You can't tell me that the third goal for Brentford could score the hair. This one's from Simpi from East Legon. It says, I think slots won't help us. Instead of him to buy defenders and defensive midfielders, to augment the team. He didn't. Instead, allowed Diaz to go and went on buying unnecessary players. This one here says, please tell coach to explain to me why Arsenal's defender touches the ball with the hand, but the referee didn't give a penalty to Newcastle.
It came off him before.
Yeah.
The ball didn't hit his hand directly from the Langa shot. It came off him before it hit his hand. So.
Last message from Stephen from Accra says that Chelsea is just suffering from fatigue and injuries. The coach is still learning. The sanctions affected us. The only reason I have issues with the coach is he's playing gusto as a winger. You don't come to Chelsea to come and learn on the job. Chelsea is a big team. The team that Roman Abramovich left is where you want to do your internship as a coach. I don't even understand, but thank you very much, Coach Christopher Nemi. Thank you very much, Nubo. Thank you guys out there for making time to do the show with us and also sending in messages. We appreciate it. The show will be up on YouTube at Citi Sports GH, but same time next week's Scorecard will be back on your screens.